Every year, thousands of cruisers make the same shocking mistakes, and some don't even realize it until it's too late. From money-wasting habits to rules that can get you kicked off the ship, these are the 13 things you should never do on a cruise in 2025. You might think you're being clever or saving time, but some of these blunders can ruin your vacation or cost you hundreds before you even set sail. Stay tuned, because number 7 is a mistake even loyal cruisers keep making, and it could wreck your next voyage before it begins. Number 1. Never skip the muster drill. It's the first rule of every cruise, and the one mistake that can cost you your entire vacation. Never skip the muster drill. Most passengers think, it's just a formality, I'll watch the safety video later. But the truth is, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, they all treat the muster drill as a legally required safety event. If you don't check in, the ship can't sail. A family boards Harmony of the Seas and decides to relax in their cabin instead of heading to their muster station. 10 minutes later, there's a knock at the door, security, and a crew supervisor standing there with clipboards. Their names were flagged as non-compliant. They had to stop what they were doing, report immediately, and endured stares from hundreds of passengers who'd already finished. Embarrassing and unnecessary. Why does it matter so much? At sea, seconds count in an emergency. Crew members must know exactly where you'll go and how to find you. Missing that drill not only puts you at risk, but delays everyone else's departure. And if you flat out refuse, cruise lines can issue fines or even disembark you before leaving port. No refund, no sympathy. Most cruisers don't realize skipping this one short session can derail the entire sailing schedule and your vacation reputation. Do this instead. Treat the muster drill like your passport, non-negotiable. Complete it early through the cruise app if e-muster is offered, or arrive at your assigned station before the crowd. Get it done, get checked off, and start your vacation the right way, worry-free. 2. Never use your cabin toilet as a trash can. It sounds harmless, but flushing anything other than toilet paper on a cruise ship is one of the biggest mistakes passengers make. Most people assume cruise toilets work like the ones at home. They don't. Ship plumbing runs on a powerful vacuum system, designed to move waste through narrow pipes that stretch for hundreds of feet across multiple decks. One wrong item can block that system, not just for you, but for an entire section of cabins. Here's a real story. On Carnival Celebration, a passenger flushed a flushable wipe down the toilet. Within an hour, half the deck lost water pressure. Maintenance had to isolate the line, shut off cabins, and spend hours clearing the clog. Guests were told not to use their bathrooms. Imagine starting your vacation that way, all because of one careless flush. And here's the catch. Cruise lines can fine guests for misuse if plumbing damage or cleaning is required. The bill might not be huge, but the embarrassment and inconvenience? Massive. Crew members know which cabin caused the blockage. It's tracked by the system. So here's your takeaway. Never flush wipes, tissues, cotton pads, or feminine products, even if the packaging says it's safe. Those claims apply to home plumbing, not ships. Do this instead. Use the small trash bin beside the toilet for anything other than toilet paper. The cabin stewards empty it twice daily, and you'll avoid backups, fines, and the awkward reputation of being that guest everyone talks about. Number 3. Never leave valuables unattended in your cabin. Here's a mistake even experienced cruisers still make: leaving cash, jewelry, or electronics out in plain sight inside their cabin. Most guests assume, it's fine, my room steward is trustworthy, and the doors lock automatically. While crew members are incredibly professional, the reality is that hundreds of staff and contractors rotate through your hallway every week, and mistakes, mix-ups, or misunderstandings can happen. One passenger on Norwegian Encore learned this the hard way. They left a designer watch and an envelope of euros sitting on the vanity before heading to lunch. When they returned, the room had been cleaned, but the envelope was gone. Security was called, housekeeping was questioned, and after hours of stress, the watch was found under the bed, but the cash? Never seen again. Cruise lines make it clear they're not liable for lost or stolen items unless they properly secured in the safe. Even travel insurance often excludes unattended valuables from reimbursement. Why it matters? Your stateroom feels private, but it's still part of a shared environment. With multiple people entering for cleaning, maintenance, or minibar restock, you're responsible for protecting your own items. Do this instead. Keep your passport, jewelry, and spare cash in the in-room safe every time you leave the cabin. For extra protection, bring a portable travel safe or lockbox that can secure to a fixed point. It's small peace of mind that protects your big investments and your sanity, so you can actually relax and enjoy your cruise. Number 4. Never ignore hand sanitizing stations. If there's one rule that can literally save your cruise, it's this. Never walk past a hand sanitizing station without using it. Most passengers think, I'm healthy, I wash my hands earlier. But here's the catch. Cruise ships are closed environments with thousands of people touching the same railings, buffet tongs, and elevator buttons. One careless moment can start a chain reaction that spreads faster than sea breeze. On a 2024 MSC seaside sailing, more than 80 passengers fell ill with norovirus. The outbreak started because guests skipped sanitizer stations entering the buffet. Within 48 hours, the ship's medical team had quarantined dozens of cabins, closed sections of the dining hall, and even canceled onboard events. It's the kind of headline no one wants to be part of. Even a mild stomach bug can ruin your trip. You'll be confined to your cabin, miss your excursions, and have to report to the ship's medical center, where fees apply for treatments and tests. Plus, Royal Caribbean and Carnival are now required to log illness reports with the CDC. That means one person's laziness can affect everyone's vacation. Do this instead. Use sanitizer every single time you enter a restaurant, touch public surfaces, or come back from shore. The dispensers are there for a reason, and crew notice who skips them. Keep a personal travel-sized sanitizer in your bag for times when stations are crowded. Healthy cruisers have more fun, and smart ones never skip a squirt. Number 5. Never book your flight too close to embarkation time. Here's one of the costliest mistakes cruisers still make: booking their flight to arrive the same day the ship departs. It sounds efficient. Why waste money on a hotel when I can just fly in that morning? But here's the truth. Cruise ships wait for no one. If your plane is delayed, canceled, or rerouted, you'll be waving goodbye from the airport while your ship sails away without you. Take this example. Dozens of travelers headed for Norwegian escape in Miami last spring booked early morning flights from the Northeast. A surprise thunderstorm grounded flights across the region. By the time planes were cleared for takeoff, the ship had already left port. Passengers watched from their airport lounges as their $3,000 vacations disappeared, literally. Royal, Carnival, MSC, none of them refunded a cent. They had to fly themselves to the next port, book last-minute hotels, and miss the first 2 days of their cruise. And here's the kicker. Even if your flight is only slightly delayed, you'll be stuck in massive embarkation lines or arrive after boarding closes. The stress alone can ruin your mood before the trip even starts. Cruise lines, travel agents, and veteran cruisers all repeat the same advice for a reason: arrive at least 1 day early. Do this instead. Fly in the day before embarkation, stay near the port, and start your vacation relaxed, not rushed. You'll enjoy a good meal, get proper rest, and walk onto the ship calm and refreshed, not sweaty, panicked, and praying your flight lands on time. Because once the gangway closes, it's closed for good. Number 6. Never leave your phone in roaming mode. Here's a silent money trap most cruisers don't realize until it's too late. Leaving your phone in roaming mode at sea. You might think your phone automatically switches off data when you're out of range, but the truth is, it quietly connects to the ship's maritime satellite network. And that signal? It's not part of your regular carrier plan. A couple on Odyssey of the Seas learned this the expensive way. They left their phones on overnight while the ship sailed between islands. By the time they docked, they unknowingly racked up over $900 in roaming fees, just from background app updates and push notifications. No calls, no streaming, no browsing, just automatic connections. Here's the catch. Even if you never touch your phone, it can still use data for emails, cloud syncing, or weather widgets. And those satellite connections cost $2 to $10 per megabyte. That is a few dollars every time Instagram refreshes. Why it matters? Once those charges hit your carrier, there's no disputing them. They come straight from maritime providers like Cellular at Sea, and refunds are rare. Do this instead. As soon as you step on board, switch your phone to airplane mode and keep Wi-Fi on. Purchase the ship's internet package if you need connectivity, or use free Wi-Fi in ports. Download maps, entertainment, and apps before sailing so you can enjoy your cruise worry-free. Because nothing kills that post-cruise glow faster than a four-figure phone bill waiting back home. Number 7. Never overpack. It'll cost you space and stress. It feels like smart planning, bringing everything you might need just in case. But on a cruise, overpacking is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Cruise cabins aren't hotel rooms. They're compact, efficient spaces designed for storage, not a mountain of luggage. Most people don't realize that overpacking not only eats up your cabin space, but also adds stress every single day of your trip. Take this example. A couple on Anthem of the Seas brought 4 full-size suitcases for a 7-night Caribbean sailing. By the time they unpacked, 2 had to be shoved under the bed, 1 blocked the closet, and the 4th sat in the corner the entire week. They spent half the cruise moving bags around just to reach their shoes. And here's the part no one tells you. Your cabin steward has to clean around your mess. Overpacked cabins create clutter, safety hazards, and even inspection delays. Plus, with airlines tightening luggage limits, overweight baggage fees can hit before you even reach the ship. Why it matters? More stuff means more to manage, more to lose, and less relaxation. Cruises are about freedom, not fuss. Do this instead. Pack mix and match outfits, one dressier option for formal night, and lightweight shoes that pull double duty. Bring travel-sized toiletries, not full bottles. Most ships offer laundry and pressing services if you need them. Veteran cruisers follow one golden rule. Lay out everything you plan to bring. Then remove a third. Your cabin and sanity will thank you later. Number 8. Never forget to tip your cabin. Steward and waitstaff. One of the worst mistakes you can make at sea is forgetting or refusing to tip your crew. It might seem small, but on board, gratuities are the heartbeat of cruise life. Your steward, your dining team, your bartenders, they depend on those tips, and it shows when passengers go out of their way to appreciate them. Most new cruisers think, it's already included in my fare. And yes, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, they all apply automatic gratuities. But here's the truth. Those tips are divided among dozens of behind-the-scenes workers. The people who clean your room, serve your meals, and keep things spotless often rely on small personal gestures to make the job worth it. Here is a story that spreads fast among cruise circles. A couple on Oasis of the Seas removed their automatic tips to save money. The next night, their table service slowed. Their room didn't get its usual evening turn down. It wasn't punishment, just human nature. The crew prioritized guests who respected their effort. Why it matters? Your attitude and generosity can transform your cruise experience. The friendlier you are, the more the crew goes above and beyond. Special requests, towel animals, secret dessert orders, you name it. Do this instead. Keep automatic gratuities in place and add small personal tips, $5 or $10, at the end of the trip. A handwritten thank you note or a kind word goes even further. Because when you treat the crew well, they'll treat you like royalty. Number 9. Never assume shore excursions will wait for you. This is one of the most heartbreaking cruise mistakes. Assuming your excursion or the ship itself will wait if you're running late. It won't. Cruise schedules are military precise. Ships operate on port time, not your watch or your driver's promises. Most passengers don't realize that even a 15-minute delay can throw off port clearances and fuel schedules for the entire fleet. Take this story from Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. A group booked a cheap private van tour in Cozumel instead of using the ship's official excursions. They hit unexpected traffic on the return. By the time they reached the pier, the ship was gone. Anchor up, sailing away. Locals call it the Pier Runner Parade. And trust me, it's not funny when it's you sprinting with your backpack, waving in panic. They had to buy same-day plane tickets to meet the ship at the next port, nearly $2,000 out of pocket. Cruise lines make one exception. Ship-sponsored excursions are guaranteed. If those tours run late, the ship will wait or arrange transport. But if you're on your own, you're on your own. Why it matters? Saving a few bucks on an independent tour can cost you thousands in missed connections, hotels, and stress. Do this instead. Always book through the cruise line if you're unfamiliar with the port, or schedule private excursions with at least 90 minutes of buffer time before sail away. Because on a cruise ship, the captain waits for no one, except the guests who plan smart. Number 10. Never disrespect crew or security staff. If there's one way to end your cruise faster than rough seas, it's by disrespecting the crew or security staff. Most passengers don't realize how much authority these teams actually have on board. Cruise ships are floating cities, and once you're at sea, the captain and security officers are the law. Losing your temper, yelling at crew, or causing a public scene can lead to written warnings, cabin lockout, or even being put off the ship at the next port. Here is a real-life example. A passenger on Carnival Horizon got angry at guest services over a billing dispute. Voices rose, phones came out, and security was called. Within an hour, the guest was confined to their cabin and escorted off the ship the next morning in Jamaica, permanently banned from sailing with the line again. One outburst cost them every future cruise they'd planned. Why it matters? Cruise lines have zero tolerance for harassment or disrespect toward staff. These crew members work long hours, often away from home for months, and they're trained to report every incident. Even if you're frustrated, the moment you cross a line, it's documented in the ship's system, and that record follows you across the brand. Do this instead. Stay calm and professional. If you have a problem, ask to speak with a supervisor or visit guest services during quiet hours. You'll get faster, friendlier help and keep your record spotless. Because at sea, respect isn't optional. It's the ticket to smooth sailing. Number 11. Never forget travel insurance. Skipping travel insurance might seem like a smart way to save money until something goes wrong. Then it becomes the most expensive mistake of your entire cruise. Most travelers assume, I'm healthy, I won't need it, or my credit card covers that. But cruise travel insurance isn't just about canceled flights. It's your lifeline if you get sick, injured, or delayed at sea. Here is a true story that spread through cruise forums. A guest on Freedom of the Seas broke their ankle on a shore excursion in St. Martin. The onboard medical team stabilized them but couldn't provide full treatment. They had to be airlifted to a hospital on the next island. And the bill? Over $8,000 upfront, just for the helicopter ride. Their standard health insurance didn't cover it because it happened outside the U.S. Without travel insurance, they paid every cent out of pocket. Cruise lines make it clear medical care and emergency transport are your responsibility. Even a minor injury or illness can cost thousands at sea. And if weather delays or mechanical issues cancel your trip, travel insurance is the only thing that protects your investment. Why it matters? Things go wrong more often than people think. Missed flights, lost luggage, port cancellations. One unexpected event can turn your dream cruise into a financial nightmare. Do this instead, always buy comprehensive cruise insurance that includes trip interruption, medical evacuation, and cancellation coverage. It's cheap peace of mind that protects your health and your wallet. Because smart cruisers know, the only thing riskier than the open ocean is sailing without a safety net. Number 12. Never sneak alcohol or contraband on board. Trying to sneak booze or banned items on board might sound like a clever hack, but in 2025, it's a fast track to embarrassment, fines, or even denied boarding. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and MSC have tightened screening procedures with advanced X-ray scanners and liquid detection tech. That shampoo bottle full of rum. It glows like a neon sign in security scans. Here's what happened on Harmony of the Seas. A passenger used rum runner pouches hidden in their checked luggage. Security pulled the bag for inspection, confiscated the pouches, and logged the incident. Later that week, the guests' onboard purchases were quietly limited. The cruise line keeps records of alcohol violations. When they tried again on a future sailing, they were flagged during boarding. And it's not just alcohol. Concealing CBD products, vapes, irons, candles, or sharp tools can all trigger the same response: inspection, confiscation, or even denial of boarding for security noncompliance. Once that note hits your guest file, it stays there across future cruises. Why it matters? Cruise lines make most of their money from onboard purchases, and their alcohol policy is part of that business model. Trying to cheat the system risks more than your booze. It risks your reputation with the cruise line. Do this instead. Play by the rules. Most lines allow 2 750 milliliters bottles of wine or champagne per stateroom on embarkation day. You can also buy a drink package or take advantage of daily bar specials. Because saving a few dollars isn't worth losing your spot on the ship or your dignity at the security checkpoint. Number 13. Never ignore onboard announcements or weather alerts. Here's a mistake even seasoned cruisers make: tuning out the ship's announcements. It's easy to think it's just the cruise director promoting bingo again. But here's the catch: not all announcements are entertainment. Some are critical updates that can affect your safety, your schedule, or even your ability to reboard the ship. Take this real example. A couple on Celebrity Apex muted their cabin speaker to enjoy a quiet morning. Unfortunately, they missed a port schedule change due to a tropical storm nearby. When they showed up for their tender boat to Grand Cayman, it was long gone. The ship had moved up departure by an hour. Their expensive private excursion? Non-refundable. Their frustration? Massive. Cruise lines constantly adjust itineraries for weather, medical emergencies, or port congestion. When an announcement comes from the bridge or the cruise director's office, it's not optional listening. It's information you need. Missing it can mean missed excursions, lost time, or safety risks during rough weather or drills. Why it matters. On a ship carrying thousands of people, clear communication is key. If something happens, a delayed docking, a safety notice, or a medical evacuation, you don't want to be the passenger who's clueless in the hallway. Do this instead. Keep your cruise app notifications on and listen to the daily captain's update. If you miss one, check the cruise compass or ask guest services for the latest info. Because when the captain speaks, smart cruisers listen. And there you have it: 13 things you should never do on a cruise in 2025. Each one seems small on its own, but together, they can mean the difference between a smooth, stress-free vacation and a total disaster at sea. From skipping the muster drill to sneaking alcohol, these mistakes are all 100% avoidable, and now you know better than most passengers ever will. The truth is, cruise lines are tightening rules, improving safety, and tracking guest behavior more than ever. The smart cruisers, the ones who actually enjoy every moment, are the ones who learn the system, respect the crew, and play by the rules. So before you pack that extra bottle or hit snooze during announcements, remember, small mistakes make big waves at sea. Which of these surprised you the most? Was it the flight timing, the overpacking, or maybe the one about disrespecting crew members? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every one of them. And hey, like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.